just getting the quiz out of the way, I didn't get it. I guessed Dennis Law, but it's another Scot, Paddy Crowne. Michael was up all night last night getting that one, all night. Anyway, here we are, and I really do hope it's a formality. That's how I felt at the end of the first leg of the semi-final, and I don't feel any different now, despite the 9 changes that Sir Alex has made. 2-0 away in the first game, that should be enough. It will be a catastrophe if it isn't.
It will be a catastrophe, but as I say, I agree with you, Alan. I think all along he's picked a team that will win this game. Not particularly well, not particularly in style, but I think somebody commented earlier, just to get over the line and to get into that final. And the key for me is he's got the bench, and the players on the bench have to be ready. They know that if they do need a goal, but they will score it. They just got to get past Neuer. I think they'll get past this back four of Schalke still, even with Huvadis in the back four. And for me, I can't see enough penetration, enough pace from Schalke to trouble even a young, inexperienced defence.
These are the 2 lineups. If I can make my voice heard over the tannoy announcement, most unlikely. Shall I just let him tell it?
Number 8, Anderson. Number 9, Guitar Berbatov. Number 12, Chris Smalling. Number 17, Nani. Number 18, Paul Scholes. Number 21, Raphael. Number 22, John O'Shea. Number 23, Johnny Evans. Number 25, Antonio Valencia. Number 28, Darren Gibson.
Thank heavens that's sober. Now in formation, it's Van der Sar in goal, a defensive Raphael, Smalling, Evans and O'Shea. Then we've got Scholes, Anderson and Gibson in midfield. And then Valencia on the right, Nani on the left, Berbatov through the middle. 9 changes from the first leg. Schalke's goalkeeper and captain is Neuer. Their defence, Yoshida, Hudez, Metzelder now without the face mask, and Escudero. Then we've got 2 holding players, Papadopoulos and Jurado. And then Farfan, Vom, Johan and Draxler. And finally their talisman up front, Raul. We're underway. The referee is from Portugal, Pedro Proença, and it should be straightforward. John O'Shea, by the way, is skippering Manchester United tonight. The ball is played back to Van der Sar and out to the acting captain on the far side of the field. Can play it right back, can play it left back, anywhere along the back four, and of course in midfield. He finds Scholes, certainly in the midfield for United, but Scholes' pass was a little wayward, and then his challenge was a foul one. I think the referee played the advantage. Ball is with Schalke, and it's back to Neuer. And Neuer, now white jersey tonight, clips it out to the far side of the field. They're wearing a navy blue outfit tonight, Schalke. Manchester United, always at home, red shirts, white shorts, white socks. The ball played towards Nani. Nani's foul from behind, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United.
I think you can see from the beginning that Schalke are more aggressive on the front foot, trying to press from the front with Raul, and being more aggressive in midfield, hence the foul there.
Well, Scholes drove the free kick far too fiercely, but it skipped off the head of Metzelder, and Neuer couldn't prevent it going behind for a corner to Manchester United. A little over a minute played here at Old Trafford. It's packed, it's a beautiful, dare I say it, summer's evening. What a wonderful spring we've had. Will Manchester United spring into their 3rd final in 4 seasons? Valencia, corner from the right, played behind Smalling, not deliberately of course, and it's cleared to Farfan. Farfan to the Japanese right full-back on the far side, Yoshida, and he's rushing forward. The progress stopped though by United, and it's cleared to the halfway line. Immediately you can tell though there's much more aggression about the Schalke approach to the game.
Yeah, I mean last week I said that with Ranić he's always played a pressing game and always been aggressive. They couldn't do it with 2 up, but with Raul just up there dominating the midfield area with the 3 of them, they can press and they're being more aggressive. Already you've seen fouls, and there was hardly a foul against Manchester United in the first leg.
Well,
they
like
were more
aggressive.
Game. Yeah, they just look and think, gosh, if we can get on the front foot, we can score first. Game on.
Raul finds Jurado back to Raul, and it's played to the left side, and Draxler just outside the United penalty area to Jurado. to the left full-back Escudero. Escudero crosses towards the near post, and it's a diving header clear by Smalling, out of play for a throw-in.
I think you've seen already that the game plan of Schalke, Raúl there, you see he's not playing centre forward, he's dropping into that midfield area, causing problems for Manchester United's centre-backs and for the midfield players.
Well, at the moment he's furthest forward, but you're right, it's a withdrawn striking role for Raúl. His team have seen quite a lot of the ball in these opening couple of minutes. Jurado over the halfway line to the right of the centre circle, back to Guedes, and Guedes strikes it towards the left side. That's going to be awkward for the left full-back to keep it play. He can't, it was too high for him, and it's out for a Manchester United throw-in. And as we expected, Nani's on the left side, Valencia on the right, Berbatov through the middle. You think that Berbatov's confidence will have been affected by the fact that he's clearly no longer first choice striker here?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, he scored enough goals this season to
leading scorer
to remain confident. He hasn't scored for quite a while and he's been injured and he's seen Hernandez, but this is part of Manchester United. This is what being a Manchester United player is all about, playing your part for the team, for the squad. He's had a year to develop, he's learnt that, and he's adapting and had a better season this than he did last.
Initially good work by Raúl, but the pass to Farfan was stray, and United played back through O'Shea to Van der Sar, and Van der Sar clipped it towards the halfway line. Right side for United. That's the near side of the field that we are in the main stand, the south stand at Old Trafford. The ball's out of play, off the fullback Escudero, throw into United, taken to Gibson, and then Gibson on to Valencia, but it hurries out of play once more. Manchester United 0, Schalke 0. Remember, if you were on some other planet last week, you won't know that United won 2-0 away to the German side in the first leg of the semi-final. In command, not quite in the final just yet. Anderson almost squeezed the ball through to Berbatov. It was cut out by Metzelder and cleared now to Draxler. Draxler tackle, loses it to Raphael. Here's Valencia into Nani. Good work by Nani, skipping away from 2+. Edge of the penalty area, crosses low, hits the defender Escudero and ricochets behind for another corner.
I think you've seen already the two most important people, especially attacking wise, Valencia and Nani. They're going to be so important tonight. These fullbacks are not good. Yoshida, Escudero, not good players defensively.
Corner's taken short to Anderson, just on the edge of the penalty area. Back towards Valencia. Valencia just nudges it towards Paul Scholes. Now Raphael ahead of the centre circle and always willing to come forward. That's a glorious ball through to Berbatov. He was offside though. Just offside. Free kick Schalke. Just
offside as well, but you're looking already, and Berbatov, normally I see Berbatov coming to feet a lot, coming short for the ball, and that's to his detriment. You see Hernandez when he plays on the shoulder, looking to penetrate. Berbatov, the first 3 attacks, he also has played on the shoulder, looked to penetrate and get behind, and was only just offside there.
You're listening to 5 Live in BBC Radio Manchester. Manchester United 0, Schalke 0. In the second leg of the Champions League semi-final. Of course, Barcelona already through. No one will fancy playing Barcelona, but United will take the opportunity.
I'm sure they will, and look forward to that and try and take revenge from the last time they played
2009 in Rome. Here's Smalling under pressure from Raúl, hooks the ball away from the Spaniard. Raphael onto Scholes. Scholes, a neat little pass to Valencia. Valencia then hits it ahead of Anderson, and it's with Metzelder. Metzelder, good ball to the far side to Yoshida, the Japanese right back for the German team. In now to Jurado. Yoshida again. Jurado once more. United pressing, but it's flicked down the right touchline towards Yoshida, and then the interception made by John O'Shea, and it's out of play for a throw into Schalke, who've been pressing far more and attacking far more than I think we saw in the entirety of the first leg.
Look very confident on the ball, and I think that's due to the midfield area where they've got 3 in there with Raúl dropping in. It allows the fullbacks Uchida, Escudero to push on, Farfan to come inside, Draxler to come inside, and they're dominating possession, and they can play this Schalke team. They have proved before that they can beat teams and beat good teams, so Manchester United ought to be careful.
Escudero back now to Bom Johanna. It's a penalty in Inverness, Roddy.
And it's just been converted by Chris Commons. Commons brought down just a few moments ago, stepped up and took it, and we still have 2 minutes of injury time remaining. A draw would put Celtic, if they can achieve it, back level with Rangers in the head and goal difference, so still so much to play for. It's now Calais Thistle 3, Celtic 2, minute and a half of injury time remaining.
Yeah, nerve jangling there up at Inverness, particularly Rangers nerves. I mean,
Absolutely.
Albeit in the command of Terry Butcher, they can't have thought, Rangers, that Inverness would beat Celtic tonight. But it's not quite over yet. 3-2 Inverness lead Celtic. Here's Raphael, certainly tripped and fouled by Bumjohan, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United. The Portuguese referee says cut it out. Did you notice the referee last night, the Belgian referee? I thought, he handled it well.
Very good.
It was a tetchy performance, a lot of diving, a lot of fouls, but it seemed to me he was anxious not to send a player off.
Yeah, I think referees have got to really do the homework now before big games. Have a look at the first leg and really look at individual players and see what sort of traits they are. That's how to handle them. And it's like players, when we look at different teams, we look at players. Referees have got to do exactly the same when they referee a big game, especially like Barcelona Real Madrid. I thought the referee last night was very, very good.
And Hardwell will need to be good on Sunday when Manchester United play Chelsea, and you'll hear it on 5 Live. Here's Valencia for United. Back to Raphael. Nearly 9 minutes played. Raphael crossed into the middle, took a deflection. He probably hoped that it had gone behind for a corner, but it sort of squirted through, and Neuer has the ball, who is clearly on the evidence of the first leg, and we've seen him before. I'm sure Steve McLaren, you've seen him a lot of time. An excellent goalkeeper.
Yeah, fantastic, Alan. And Schalke 10th in the league, and a lot of that is down to Neuer, the goalkeeper. He's got them so many points this season, and you saw last week what a good goalkeeper is and why Bayern Munich are so keen to sign him.
Ball's on the far side of the field towards Farfan, but it's cleared by O'Shea, and here it is for Schalke up to the halfway line. Raul's furthest forward. It's played in towards the Spaniard. Good interception by Chris Smalling. Good control too by the central defender. The pass then awkwardly for O'Shea, played behind him, but O'Shea's got so much nice and experience now. He clears it upfield. Chest control by Berbatov, but not before he'd fouled Huerez, and it's going to be a free kick. It's full time in Scotland. Ruddy.
Caley Thistle 3, Celtic 2, the team of Terry Butcher's rejects, 10 of them leaving this summer, including Grant Monroe, the former captain who actually scored during this game, have beaten the title pretenders. It was Rooney and Commons in the first half to make it 1 each, then Grant Monroe 2-1, Shane Sutherland 3-1, Commons with a penalty kick in injury time 3-2. Celtic's hopes briefly flared. They've been pushed back now. They're a point behind Rangers, level on games at the top of the Premier League. Caley Thistle 3, Celtic 2.
Well, Gibson has just been caught there, and it's sort of a rib injury. The stretcher's gone on. It seemed fairly innocent in first. Oh goodness, the player followed through. I think it was Farfan followed through when he made the challenge, and certainly caught Gibson with a kick to his ribs.
Yeah, innocuous. It was
prone.
accidental,
yeah.
And Farfan was bursting through. And it's interesting that, save that. I hope Gibson is okay. The stretcher's on, but just going back to Schalke, I've seen more in the first 10 minutes than I saw in the whole game last week. And with Farfan and Raul, Farfan coming in off that line and penetrating like he did there and nearly getting in, Gibson just stopping him. They're looking far more aggressive, far more penetrative, and looking a better team, more compact and making it difficult, especially for United in that midfield area. And Gibson's goals, and they ought to just be careful in that midfield area. They're getting overrun.
Well, this could be a real problem for Gibson, Darren Gibson, because he definitely got a kick sort of side on front, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
he's back on his feet now, but he wasn't feigning injury. He was clearly in a lot of pain and will still be in a lot of pain. Farfan, I don't think it was deliberate.
No, definitely not. And as I said before, I think Gibson, Scholes and Anderson just got to be careful. They're getting overrun a little bit in there, not picking up runners, not picking up markers, and hence Gibson has to make a last-ditch tackle to stop Farfan and got injured, and luckily he's okay.
Play will resume now with a free kick actually to Schalke, and now they've got the ball inside the United half. It's back to Metzelder, in now to Papadopoulos, who hardly noticed in the first leg. Played to Ishida on the far flank. He tried to find Farfan, intercepted by O'Shea, and now it's Nani who runs the ball clear down the United left flank to O'Shea, and O'Shea looking for Berbatov. Here it is, managed to get his head, made it an interception. Berbatov robs the defender into the penalty area. Now Dimitar Berbatov, good control. Has he got the score? Brilliantly played, and then he tried to feed it through to Valencia, and Neuer just pounced on the ball.
Fantastic play by Berbatov, and again, he's on the shoulder of Huerdis, he's on the shoulder of Metzelder, getting in behind, and he's got fantastic ability, one-on-one. You know, he's not quick, he's not the most mobile, he's not the quickest, but somehow that ball sticks to his feet and he causes defenders problems. And if the ball had been a bit harder, I think Valencia could have been in for the first goal.
Technically outstanding, Berbatov. And the languid manner fools supporters, doesn't it, Steve McLaren? Because they think, oh, he's lazy. It's not, it's just the way he plays.
Well, I like to call it smooth.
Yes.
Cultured and smooth, and like all our players, but you know, often he's portrayed as lazy, but when he gets on the ball, you can't knock him off.
Draxler with a good header to Jurado. Jurado's cross wasn't so good, but it comes off the shins of Rafael and goes behind for a corner to Schalke. And look how anxious Raul is to take this corner. He rushed quickly across to get to the ball. No time to waste. They're 2-0 down, remember, after the first leg. 0-0 so far at Old Trafford. We've played 14 minutes of the second leg. Corner tap short to Raul. Back to Jurado. Jurado's cross into the penalty area, straight into the arms of Van der Sar. And Van der Sar looking to set Nani free. Wellies the ball upfield. That's unfair to call it a welly. It was actually a very good pass, but it's a good defensive header by Yoshida. You know what I mean? I was thinking, well, he just belted it, but he belted it accurately.
It was a cultured half volley, Alan. Cultured half volley.
But what about Valdez's involvement in the goal last night for Barcelona?
Yeah,
terrific.
I mean, it's an asset now, and that's one of the strengths of Van der Sar. He's not just a goalkeeper; he's like an outfield player.
Like a sweeper.
Yeah, that's right.
Free kick to Manchester United. Scholes is going to take it just short of the halfway line left of the centre circle. Taps it to Anderson. Back now to Evans, on to Smalling. Smalling steps away from Draxler. Feeds the ball to the right side, and Rafael digs it out from under his feet. Passes forward to Valencia. Valencia back to Anderson. Pass was under hit, and they're a little bit unfortunate there, the Schalke players. They were just so anxious to win the ball, went slightly over the top in terms of the urgency of the tackle, and conceded a free kick.
Yeah, it's interesting, Schalke's tactics. What they're doing is they're letting Johnny Evans have the ball. Raul is then pressing him, allowing Smalling to have it, and then Raul's trying to trap Smalling, and they're trying to trap Manchester United from that area, and Smalling.
So here's O'Shea going down the left side, and he's won a corner off Yoshida. Yoshida did well to get across to the Irishman, but could only block the attempted cross, and it's behind for another United corner. This one from the left side. Nani's going to hit it right-footed. Evans stays back. Smalling comes forward into the penalty area, and Nani plays it in towards the near post. Neuer didn't get there, and he's helped out by his defence, though I can only assume it was the extra assistant behind on the goal line that saw an infringement there, and the referees responded by awarding a free kick.
Yeah, just going back to that point before about Schalke's tactics, what they're doing is leaving Smalling on the ball, and Raul is then trying to trap him, and 2 or 3 times Smalling has got out of tight situations, took a risk but got out and done it very well. But Schalke know that not necessarily is the weakness, but they're the one that they've targeted to press and press from midfield.
This is coverage of the Champions League. Manchester United 0, Schalke 0 on 5 Live and BBC Radio Manchester. So far, not entirely comfortable for United, but they've got this 2-goal margin. Scholes just hurries into the challenge there on Bom Johan, but the cross is played into the penalty area, and it's a good catch from Van der Sar. Very good in the air, the Dutchman, and a good throw out to Anderson. Anderson rushes forward and evades 2 challenges. Moves to the left side, plays it on to Nani, back to O'Shea, into Scholes. O'Shea, Scholes interchanging passes once more. O'Shea involved for the umpteenth time in this move. This time it's a pass back though to Van der Sar. United relatively cautious.
Yeah, that's right. Scholes is going to be a very, very important player tonight for United. He's the one in the centre of midfield. They want to play through him. He wants to control the midfield area. Such a great player on the ball. Such fantastic vision.
Just made a good interception there.
Yeah, great.
Getting the ball to Anderson, and now it's with Nani. Oh goodness. Well, that was obviously a judged a fair challenge by Nani. Here it is. I thought he was high and late.
He was.
But the referee had a clear view of it.
I think you might see the referee might go back to that, but here's United on the attack again.
With Anderson. Tinani on the far side of the field, and now the ball breaks out of play. And no, the Portuguese official declines to have a word with Nani, or maybe he's looking across at him now and saying something.
Just we can't say he's got to say, if you do that again, you're in the book.
Yeah, I mean, many other occasions in the Champions League, that would have been a yellow card. Anyway, play continues. United have the ball. Anderson crosses from the left, deflects off the defender, loops in the air. Good catch by Neuer under pressure from Berbatov. 18 minutes gone. Manchester United 0, Schalke 0. Neuer said this week, presumably in German, that he was definitely not leaving Germany. Whether that means he's going to Bayern Munich or I don't know, but he's no intention of leaving Germany at the moment. My German didn't even reach O level.
No, I think it's interesting because I know Louis van Gaal, who has left Bayern Munich now, who was manager here last year for Bayern Munich. He had the opportunity to sign Neuer in the summer and he turned it down, and the club was so keen and anxious to get Neuer on the books, but Van Gaal, one of his downfalls really, didn't take up the offer from Bayern.
I was going to say that's one of the
really
reasons why he's not there
them,
anymore. Yes.
They waited all season for a bad result and then got rid of him.
Manchester United 0, Schalke 0. Just a shot of Ralf Rangnick, the Schalke coach, who certainly got his tactics up better tonight than he had in the first leg. Raul, still inside his own half though, taps it back to Escudero, who chips it down the left touchline, the header infield. Good control by Raul, taking it away from Scholes, who actually made his European debut for Manchester United a year earlier than Raul. Ball now just over the halfway line in Schalke's possession, and it's neat football, and that's an excellent pass struck to the right side to Ishida. And look how many players they've got inside the Manchester United half. I count at least 8. The ball breaks forward towards the United penalty area. Raul seemed to back into Johnny Evans there, got away with that challenge, and the ball breaks for Farfan. Now Jurado midway inside United territory to Papadopoulos. Jurado again, and Jurado hits it towards the left side accurately to Escudero. They played pretty well in the opening 20 minutes here, Schalke, but they haven't scored and they desperately need a goal. It's chipped into the penalty area towards Raul. Clever play by Smalling. Just used his physique to hold up the Spaniard, and the ball went through to Van der Sar.
I think that's what you'll see, Alan, that Manchester United are quite content to let Schalke have possession in the middle third, which they're doing very well. Schalke switching the play, but really in the final third there's not much threat. While you see from Manchester United, when they get in the final third, there's a lot more threat.
My gut instinct tells me I'm just waiting for United to score, actually. Just feel it's going to come. Scholes drives the ball brilliantly to the right side. Great control by Valencia. Valencia faced by 2 defenders, tried to squeeze the ball between them and run after it. Then he was blocked, and that's a foul against Draxler. Free kick to Manchester United.
Vintage Scholes. 50-yard crossfield pass straight to Valencia's
ping.
feet.
You can almost hear the ping.
Yeah, he really is one of the best players I've coached. Can do anything with a football from 5 yards, 2 yards to 50 yards. And dangerous free kick now. Yeah,
a yard in from the right touch line, about 10 yards infield from the corner flag. Nani to take the free kick from the United right. O'Shea's in there, but it's chipped actually poorly by Nani out of the penalty area. Berbatov retreats, gets the ball back to Evans, forward to Berbatov, he's onside. Smalling still in the penalty area, so too was Valencia. Berbatov's cross was blocked and it's behind for a corner.
Again, Berbatov penetrating behind the back 4 and should have crossed that ball earlier. Just took one stride too many, should have crossed it earlier, and then the moment was gone. But United, as you say, look far more threatening than Schalke in the final third.
Nani's corner. This time from the left, hit right-footed, in swinging, Nar catches easily. Reminding you in the SPL earlier, Inverness 3, Celtic 2. Advantage Rangers at the top of the table. It's 0-0 here at Old Trafford. Nearly 22 minutes played in the second leg of the Champions League semi-final. Evans to Rafael. And Rafael plays it down the right touchline, which slightly overhits at the Brazilian fullback, and it's beyond Valencia to play for a throw-in.
I think you'll find, Alan, that both teams are actually pleased with the start that they've made. Although Schalke are controlling possession, controlling the game, you can even control the game when you haven't got the ball, and Manchester United are doing that, just allowing Schalke to keep possession, knowing that they'll leave themselves open, take a risk, and Manchester United got the players that can score.
Guess who's here tonight?
Go on.
He must be in the director's box to our left. Pep Guardiola, the Barcelona coach, is watching on. I'll bet he knows enough about Manchester United. Maybe he's having a look at Schalke just in case.
Absolutely. I think he's looking probably at the bench now, looking at the players who will be on the bench against him in the final.
Midway through the first half, it's still 0-0 at Old Trafford, and here's Mike Ingham.
Thanks, Alan. Smalling's on the ball for Manchester United, and he looks for Valencia down this near side. Scudero gets in ahead of him, and Schalke could counter-attack. Now they won't, because Gibson's stolen it back in midfield once more, and Rafael turned into trouble, and he's won himself a free kick. Alan talking about Guardiola. Of course, this is a very similar scenario to last night's game, with Barcelona at home defending a 2-0 lead. The one difference, the weather. It's a beautiful evening here tonight in Manchester. Once again, United elect to take a free kick short, and then it's lifted by Gibson into the United half, and it's Johnny Evans on the ball. Manchester United 0, Schalke 0, 2-0 to United from the first leg. Steve McLaren with us here on 5 Live. Ball is back with Van der Sar. Hasn't had to do a great deal yet in the Manchester United goal, and he has possession, and he works it across the field, and United now build once more through midfield. John O'Shea, a couple of good gallops from him already down the left-hand side, looking for Nani. Nani doesn't keep it in, and a throw to Schalke. Steve.
Yeah, you can see there again Schalke's tactics, letting Johnny Evans have the ball. Once he passes it to a fullback or to Smalling, bang, they go, they press. And Manchester United are doing very well through the centre of midfield, through Anderson and Scholes, just getting out of that press and getting into the final third.
Neuer clears into the United half. It should be Smalling's ball, and doesn't really deal with it at all. Draxler off the chest. Doesn't get that right either, but they keep possession. Schalke playing towards the Stretford end, away to our left, and then losing out in midfield. Strong running now from Gibson. Berbatov trying to stay onside. Gibson onto Bono. He doesn't quite find Berbatov, but Berbatov does well. Wriggles it to Nani on the edge of the area. Nani could have got an earlier shot in. Now he's forced wide. 2 defenders up against him. Still Nani now trying to use his head by the corner flag over on the left. United had just lost a little bit of the early promise, and they've got a corner left-hand side. But the Schalke defence, once more at times, none too convincing.
Sorry, Mike, but yeah, even with whoever it is, you can still see that Manchester United can penetrate, and you know they haven't quite got the delivery right from these set plays.
Mike Phelan just making sure that 1 or 2 players stay back in case there's a counter-attack. Corner kick is driven in, and Smalling's headed it wide. By the way, Chris Smalling is being watched this evening, I noticed, by Stuart Pearce, who's here tonight, the England under-21 coach, who's picked his provisional 40 for the European Championship. I would imagine Smalling will make the cut for that, won't he? The final squad, Steve?
I would have thought, looking at the squad, and a player who's developed from non-league football 12, 18 months ago, playing in the Champions League semi-final. What a rise, and just shows you. I'll just let you take over.
Anderson square ball now to Gibson. Here come Manchester United. Gibson's ball onto Valencia in the penalty area. Out comes Neuer. Valencia scores through the goalkeeper's legs. Manchester United take the lead tonight. They lead 3-0 overall. And Pep Guardiola, the Barcelona coach who's here tonight, must be surely watching Manchester United as his final opposition at Wembley. 1-0 tonight, 3-0 altogether. Valencia scores.
As we were saying earlier, Mike, Manchester United allowing Schalke the possession in the middle third, just waiting, controlling the game, even though they haven't got possession, just waiting for a mistake, and then once they win it, first ball forward, quick on transition, there's Valencia, in behind Escudero, pull back four, pull full-back defending, and this time beats Neuer with an early shot. Tremendous. I mean, you're talking practically Manchester United really in the driving seat now.
Schalke break, and they whip the ball in towards Raul. Raul's header and an easy save from Van der Sar. Well done, by the way. Answering a question about Chris Smalling, Steve instinct knew there was something on there and immediately passed it back for the Valencia goal. They lead 1-0. Berbatov now for Manchester United. Great chance for him tonight. He's got 3 Schalke players around him and he can't go forward. But now Schalke need 3. I mean, United were always likely to score, Steve, weren't they?
Yeah, Schalke didn't want it this early. After a good start as well, but, you know, that's Manchester United and that's European football. And that's the strength of Manchester United, that the likes of Valencia, Nani, Berbatov can all penetrate. And especially when they win the ball on transition, first pass forward, losing concentration at the back, Escudero, and Valencia, an absolute fantastic finish. I think Valencia has been one of the bonuses for Sir Alex, coming back from injury. at this stage of the season, and he's going to be very valuable over the next 4 or 5 games.
Well, in Europe, they haven't been able to sing this song since 1968. We're going to Wembley for the European final. United have missed out on the FA Cup final, but looks like they're heading to play Barcelona. Here comes Schalke now down that right-hand side. Ball played in, headed away by Smalling. And Raul's never going to win balls really in the air against Smalling and Evans. It's out of play for a Schalke throw-in far side. If you're joining our commentary tonight on 5 Live, Manchester United's manager Sir Alex Ferguson made 9 changes from the first leg, with of course the Arsenal game coming in between last weekend and Chelsea, more importantly here on Sunday. United did look a bit jaded in London against Arsenal at the weekend. He's freshened it up tonight. He's shown also, I think, the way they're so much more sophisticated now tactically, United. They can move around from 4-3-3 to the preferred way of playing at the moment, 4-4-1-1. Tonight it's largely 4-3-3, and they've really grown up in Europe over the years. And another example of how they've grown up, not a single player threatened with suspension for the final, no yellow cards against any of the names taking part tonight. Long ball forward now for Gerardo, the Spanish player, took it early, Smalling follows it wide though. Raul was looking to try and get on the end of it. It's a goal kick. There's conversation between Van der Sar and Smalling, and it's a goal kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, it's unusual that I think Johnny Evans was pulled out of position. Gerardo makes the run, and but you see there are no real threat in the final third. And you made a great point there, Mike, about the flexibility of Manchester United in Europe and what he's learned. And somebody said to me, 10 years ago when I was there, when they won the treble, that they played 4-4-2, 4-2-4, and were very rigid. But the flexibility they show now, which you need now in European football, they're showing from all the players, not just 11 but the full squad.
Did many of those games, Steve, with Alan, and there were some great nights, but they were also at times a bit short in midfield, weren't they? And they've now sorted that out, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I always remember one game against Inter Milan, and we drew 1-1, and Sir Alex saying, look, we'll get criticised for playing 4-4-2. I'll just let you take over.
Okay,
again.
Anderson now exchanges passes with Nani. Nani's just inside the area. That was a very ambitious ball by Nani. Schalke got the players back, but now it's really difficult for them to counter-attack because they're all back inside their own half. At the moment, Bam Johan's got it, and he shows too much of the ball to O'Shea. Oh no, the referee didn't like O'Shea's challenge and gives the free kick.
No, as I was saying before, when we played Inter Milan, drew 1-1, and he said after the game, we may get criticised for playing 4-4-2, but this is the Manchester United way, with Beckham and Giggs on the wing and Cole and York up front, and this is the way that we play, and we got to the final with it. But over 10 years the game has changed a hell of a lot, and that's the strength of Sir Alex. He's learnt to adapt and change Manchester United with the times.
And the great asset he's got in what he would regard as being his top team also is that Rooney now can come back and fill in and help out in midfield as well. O'Shea, Evans this time with a back pass to Van der Sar, who clears high towards Anderson. Anderson reaches for it, and you just wonder how Schalke now may respond. They really, I think, had to get the first goal here tonight. They're one down, just like it's running in parallel with last night's game at the moment. Berbatov now over on the left-hand side. Berbatov just holding, and then digs it back into midfield, and Scholes, here comes another Scholes ball. Again, it's perfection to the feet of the goal scorer Valencia. Valencia moving towards a Scudero, who got his challenge in, and it's a throw into Manchester United, but they're threatening another one here.
Yeah, that's right, and you're right. Schalke must think this is going to be a long evening now. I'll let you take over again.
1-0 to Manchester United. The ball with Valencia. Back to Gibson. Oh, straight through Neuer. Gibson scores, and Neuer, the hero, just a matter of a week ago in Germany, who kept everything out, was nowhere near that one, didn't get his body behind the ball. Gibson knocks it straight past him. Manchester United 2-0 tonight, 4-0 altogether.
A rare mistake from Neuer, and something that I've seen in my time in Germany. Although he makes great saves, he's still a young goalkeeper. Young goalkeepers still make mistakes, and there a shot straight to him, deflects it off his arm against the post and into the net, and it's gone from a long night to Schalke to a very long evening now.
Here comes Bam Johan now on the break for Schalke. 2-0 down, 4-0 down altogether. But I went to Sir Alex Ferguson's press conference after the game last week, and he said about the turning point for him was when Hernandez actually put the ball past. Yeah. It was disallowed for offside, but it showed they could actually beat the guy.
Yeah.
And look at him tonight. I mean, that's the game for you, isn't it, Steve? That was 8 days ago.
That's football. And I've got to say, I'd love to see Sir Alex Ferguson's face now. I bet there's a smile as wide as anything, making 9 changes, people questioning. what's he doing, and it's trusting your players and knowing that these players can do the job, and at the moment that's what they're doing.
Van der Sar with a lovely ball to the far side of the field. 2-0 to Manchester United tonight on 5 Live. Inverness beating Celtic 3-2, and so Rangers preserve their lead at the top of the SPL. And here comes O'Shea once more, and he's nutmegged the defender. John O'Shea of Manchester United, on to Anderson. Anderson now to Nani. Early ball in, and the defender Hooverdes is there to concede a corner kick. This is good stuff from Manchester United. And none of these players may be playing within themselves here, thinking that we've got Chelsea at the weekend, because it could be a completely different side on Sunday afternoon. We're here for that one. Corner kick to Manchester United with more than 1 foot in the final, really. Corner kick is whipped in by Nani, and Neuer fumbled it almost, but then gets it second time round, and then for some reason pushes Valencia. I'm not sure why. Out comes Schalke with the ball, and they're rattled. It's the Spanish player Jurado now crossing the halfway line. Jurado needs some help down that right-hand side, and here comes Farfan, the South American. Ball in, over Raul, and it still hasn't been cleared yet by Manchester United. O'Shea's there, prods it back to Evans, who drives it back towards the halfway line. In steps Ashida. 2-0 to Manchester United. Jurado takes over, and now Escudero, the young left-back. There's no ambition at the moment, just playing it square. Schalke United get everybody apart from Berbatov back behind the ball. The approach here from Schalke is too slow, and it's Jurado again. Escudero makes a run down the left-hand side, but it goes towards Raul, and it's easily snuffed up by Smalling. By the way, one thing I hope happens here in this game, as Schalke whip the ball in once more, and Raul's challenging. Jurado's, great goal! Terrific strike from Jurado to give Schalke something to cling to here. Manchester United just caught there. It was a spanking finish from Jurado into the top corner, and on the night it's 2-1 now to Manchester United, but 4-1 altogether.
I think Schalke have actually deserved that. They've controlled the game. Manchester United have been patient, allowed them to, but Smalling just made an error, and I said before that they're leaving him on the ball. He's coming out of defence, taking risks. He lost the ball, gave the ball away very cheaply. The ball went wide. Great crossing, not cleared. Smalling not back in position, and there's Jurado. He's a good little player, Jurado, and a great strike.
But back come Manchester United typically, and the ball is with Nani, who hasn't been picked up, and he doesn't get through first time, but now they look it forward to Valencia. Valencia trying to settle himself here, trying to take on the goalkeeper, and it's cleared off the line by Hooverdes, the centre-back, who screams at his defenders. Manchester United almost getting through for a third there. We've got flares being lit up in the big stand away to our right from the travelling fans from Schalke, who've seen their team score. All of Manchester United's goals conceded in Europe this season have been here at Old Trafford this season, but Schalke still need another 3, and you wouldn't bet against Manchester United scoring another one either. Farfan inside the United half. Well, if ever a goal came at the right, Schalke's heads were dropping. We were saying they were moving it too slowly. It was very pedestrian, and then suddenly out of nowhere Jurado finds the target.
You've seen a typical 2 goals in Europe. As soon as you lose the ball, you're in danger. Transition is quick, cross goes in on both sides, one for Valencia and there for Jurado, and you see 2 goals. You can't give the ball away cheaply at this level. Not in a semi-final.
Pep Guardiola being encouraged the Spaniard has scored against Manchester United. In comes the cross, it's over Raul, headed away by Rafael, but there's still danger now, and Escudero is brought down by Gibson, who'll get the first yellow card of the evening. I don't know what you felt from Gibson. Did he need to do that, Steve? It's a free kick about 22 yards out.
I agree, but you notice this in Europe a lot. If your studs are shown, doesn't matter what height your boot is, if your studs are showing, invariably they deal a yellow card, and not just happens in Spain but also in Germany, and where players dive about and exaggerate a foul to get a player booked, and on that occasion Gibson has fallen victim, and this is that goal is probably for the game as a whole, for the neutral, has just livened it up.
Well, when United went out to Bayern last year, they were on aggregate 4-2 up in that quarter-final. Bayern got a couple of goals here to put them out. Referee, by the way, Pedro Proença, the Portuguese, was the referee when Inter won 3-2 at Bayern earlier in the season, and that's only the second time in Champions League history that a team has won the first leg and gone out, or rather it's only the second time that a team has lost at home in the first leg and gone out. So We've got problems up in the big stand away to our right, I think, with some of the Schalke fans. In the meantime, let's concentrate on the action here. Farfan's over the ball, and even the players, one or two of the Schalke players, Raul was looking up to see what's going on up there. Well, having paid a great compliment to the Schalke fans today in the city centre, they just need to cool that down. We're going to get a yellow card for another United player here. Is it Berbatov or Nani saying things? And the referee's asserting his authority down there. Scholes book, was it? Well, so now Paul Scholes has to be careful with those challenges for the rest of the game. The crowd responding to the scenes up in the top tier away to our right. We did have flares a few moments ago, which of course have no place in a football stadium. It's Farfan now trying to compose himself, and United must hang tight here. They mustn't let Schalke in a game before half-time. Here comes, who's it going to be, Raul or Farfan? Farfan, it took a deflection from the wall, and it's going to be a corner kick to Schalke down this near side. Well, they're throwing things down now from the tier up there, and, you know, this is a long time since we've been in this stadium and seen any kind of problems at all, especially in the Champions League. Huge presence of Schalke fans. One or two stewards are going in there. Corner kick is taken, hacked away at the near. It's difficult for us here because we're watching the action away to the left. Meanwhile, up in the big stand away to our right, behind Neuer's goal, that's where there are problems. And they are throwing things, we believe, from the seats down there onto the supporters below them, who are mainly, of course, Manchester United fans. Don't seem to be too many stewards in there either at the moment, sorting it out. Here come Schalke again down this near side. Draxler looking for the free kick, tumbled himself over, and it's back on the halfway line with Metzelder. It's 2-1 tonight to Manchester United, 4-1 altogether on aggregate, and we've got 6 minutes left in the first half. United now need to get to half-time, and we just hope that things will calm down. And quite what's actually got the Schalke... Do they have a reputation, Steve, at all for any...
They are fanatical. They're from a working class area, and what you're seeing here is also Schalke fans, but Manchester United fans also are throwing objects up to the Schalke fans. That's why you get a little bit of confrontation between the two fans. So it's not just Schalke, it's also Manchester United at the bottom.
Well, we'll just keep abreast of that. In the meantime, it just seems to calm slightly. So it sounds like it's 6 of one and half a dozen in terms of both sets of fans. Now Valencia takes control down this near side and whips in an early ball over Huberdes. Ushida clears it for Schalke, and now Baum Johan bringing the ball forward. 2-1 to Manchester United and 4-1 altogether. Now it's the goal scorer Gerardo, former Atletico Madrid player. And he's looking particularly lively at the moment. He's got possession once more. Scholes in the right back position. The ball chipped in over Smalling. Good running once more from Raul, and it's cleared by Manchester United. And the goal really has put some heart into Schalke here.
I mean, it's a good game now, especially for the neutral, because it's opened right up. And now you can see how Schalke and Inter shared 8 goals in Inter Stadium, because the game is very open. Schalke can't defend, not got a back four that's solid defensively, so Manchester United will always look like scoring again. But Schalke are having a go. They've been buoyed by the goal, and they'll come here and think, look, we can get a result. Because Schalke are not just playing for mid-table, but also they're in the German Cup final, so they've still plenty to play for.
And unless they win the Champions League, they won't be in the Champions League next season. And of course, the amazing thing about the 5-2 win against Inter Milan, the holders in Italy, was that they were a goal down after 23 seconds in that match, and then found themselves 2-1 down as well in the first half, and still managed to respond. So there's still potential danger here for Manchester United. They still have to concentrate and be about their game, as O'Shea puts in a weak header towards Nani, and Farfan now finds Huberdes. Huberdes, good ball onto Gerardo, but he's closed down in midfield by Anderson, and then Anderson loses out in a midfield challenge, and the referee's going to show him a yellow card. So that's Anderson and Scholes booked in quick succession.
Well, there again, stud showing. When you're going with your foot up, your stud showing, and Anderson, his foot must have been an inch off the floor, but still, in European referees' eyes, that's dangerous play, and that's a yellow card, something which in England, the Premier League, you see week in, week out, not going punished. But in Europe, the referees don't seem to like that kind of behaviour. But, coming towards the end of the half, and Schalke will be buoyed by this. And Manchester United, they can't relax, because a lot of these players out here are playing for a place on the bench in the Champions League final.
All 3 of the United midfield players have been booked, of course, now. Gibson, Scholes, and that last one was Anderson. So we've got about 3 minutes to go in before half time here, and it's Schalke with the ball just inside the Manchester United half. Ball played in quickly to Baumjohann. Baumjohann feeding, no, he hasn't fed Oshida, I thought he would do. It's Farfan now, and all the United players are back apart from Berbatov. The youngster Draxler, one of the highly promising young players in Germany, teenager, for playing in a semi-final of the Champions League. Baumjohann again, and they're trying to stay patient here, trying to build down that right-hand side. Raul's waiting in the penalty area. Here comes Schalke again. They've got an opportunity to get this one in. Scholes clears, and Manchester United leaving Berbatov on his own up front. He feeds Gibson. Gibson now waiting for Valencia to make a run. He's got great pace, of course, if he can find him, and he puts the ball behind the South American. And in steps Escudero, and there's only Raul ahead of him. Escudero now into Gerardo in central midfield. Two United players shadowing him. They have to be careful now, those midfield players, with their challenges. Three of them being on yellow cards. And it's the goal scorer for Manchester United, Valencia. Valencia and Gibson with the goals. One back for Schalke from Gerardo, and now better football from Manchester United. O'Shea onto Berbatov, playing very deep at the moment. Berbatov knocks it back to Evans, and it'll come square to Smalling. Smalling now for Raphael, the right back. Great competition, of course, in this Manchester United squad for places. As Steve was saying, places in that 18, assuming England, United get to Wembley and play Barcelona over that last weekend in May. At the moment, that's going to be the game, but one more goal from Schalke before half-time. And remember, Bayern Munich got their goal late in that first half to stun Manchester United, so United have to just hold on here. Raphael now. This is good football now from Manchester United. They've got possession. Scholes high to the far side, teasing ball towards Nani, and it was well judged by the fullback Ishida, but then the header was a bit weak. Berbatov to Nani. Nani going forward, looking for the free kick, throws himself down under the challenge from Baumjohann. Referee not interested. Fourth official comes out now to indicate how much added time there will be at the end of this first half. 2-1 to Manchester United. The ball with Gerardo, and he's fouled clumsily there by Raphael. And with 45 seconds to go of normal time, Schalke have a free kick.
Yeah, Manchester United are just losing the composure a little bit. That goal has affected them, and you're seeing 3 yellow cards in quick succession for the midfield play. Shows that Manchester United just been rattled, just lost that composure in the midfield, and also a late tackle from Raphael there. It's just a sign, an indication that Manchester United are just losing a little bit of control in this game, and just towards the end where they kept possession, that's what they need to do more of, to keep possession, keep control, keep their heads.
Half-time will come at a pretty convenient time, I think, now for Sir Alex Ferguson. 2-1 up, 2 minutes of added time, and it's going to be Raul to take the free kick. Raul sweeps it into the Manchester United penalty area, headed away by O'Shea, and now Nani. Now, I was going to make a point much earlier in the commentary about Raul. If United are going to go to Wembley, I hope Raul comes off before the end here, so that the United crowd can pay tribute to one of the great players of all time, one of the great Champions League players, surely playing in this competition for the last time tonight if Schalke aren't going to get to the final. Berbatov now, 35 yards away from Neuer's goal. Move breaks down. One last chance perhaps for Schalke to get the second goal on the night. Gerardo looking for some movement ahead of him, doesn't deliver though to Raul, and Smalling slices the clearance into the crowd for a Schalke throw-in. And Sir Alex could do with a half-time whistle now, Steve, couldn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He needs to get them players into the dressing room. Just tell them to calm down, just stay in control. At the point now, yeah, let Schalke have possession, make sure you're solid at the back, make sure they're not going to threaten. But when you get the ball, don't give the ball away. You cannot give the ball away in Europe, just like Schalke did there. Now Manchester United on the attack.
How ambitious will they be here? Scholes now, he'll look for the pace of Nani over on the far side, but Ishida was just ahead of him and plays it back to Neuer. And by the way, if you haven't been with us the whole of the first half, having had such a fantastic game in goal last week, Neuer, when United just couldn't find a way past him, well, he was at fault for the second goal here this evening. It went straight through him from Gibson. That made it 2-0. Schalke responded, and when the goal came, it was right out of the blue, really, because they looked a beaten side at that point. Gerardo scoring. They're still full. United now are just pleading for the half-time whistle. They knock it back again to Van der Sar. We're playing added time. We've got about another 10 seconds of that. And Nani's ball was awkward for Gibson to control in the air. Prodded forward again by Huvades, and now Gerardo, who's probably been the brightest player in this Schalke team in the first half. It's back with Metzelder now. Metzelder can cross the halfway line, but it doesn't really matter now because there goes the whistle from the Portuguese referee. And well, I mean, it's very entertaining stuff here. It really is. I mean, there's no way Manchester United are parking the bus here, as we thought they might when we saw what the team lineup was. We've had 3 goals, 2 from Manchester United, 1 in response from Schalke. Half-time scores, we go back to Mark Pugac and Steve McLaren. It's Manchester United 2, Schalke 1.
Steve, you talk a lot about experience in Europe, of course, and Schalke by definition won't have that except for Raul. But I can't help thinking as I sit here, why didn't they play like this last week, Schalke, with this sort of level of intensity and to some extent confidence, actually? Last week they just looked shell-shocked, didn't they?
Yeah, well, not just shell-shocked. They started quite well in the game, but they got the tactics completely wrong last week. They played 2 up, 2 in midfield. Manchester United killed them in that area. This time they've put Raul up, he's dropping into midfield. So at times they've got 4 and they can control possession, which they've done. Allowed fullbacks to get wide, to get high, to deliver crosses, which have caused problems. That's where the goal came from. But I'm a little disappointed in Manchester United. Going 2-0 up, should control the game, and their reaction from conceding that goal shows the inexperience of the players out on the field, losing composure, picking up needless yellow cards. And really, when they should be impressing, enjoying this game, seeing it through, saying to Sir Alex, look, I'm here, I'm available. When you're looking at that 18 to put on the bench in the Champions League final, which I'm sure they'll get to, you know, I'm ready and willing. And they've disappointed me. And Schalke, you know, they're young players, and they'll come here for respectability, damage limitation, and to get a result. That's what they're looking for.
The way they're actually playing, Stephen, and Alan called it a sort of quasi-Carling Cup lineup, the way they're playing has reflected the way that sort of Carling Cup team has played this season. We've seen that, we've been here a few times. Obviously they got thumped at West Ham in the Carling Cup in the end. Below the sort of numbers 1 to 15, some of them do struggle to impress, don't they, when they get their chance?
Yeah, that's right, but that's why he plays them, for these kind of nights. You're talking about a Champions League semi-final, and he's playing the likes of Smalling, you know, and Gibson and Raphael to gain experience, Johnny Evans to get another game. That's what he's you know, he doesn't just believe in the now. He makes 9 changes for a reason. He trusts the players to get the result. They will get the result, but it's also experience. So after the game, these young players can come through, and he can sit down with them, talk to them, go through the video with them, say, look, to gain experience at this club at the top level, you can't do this, you can't do that. Smalling makes a mistake for the goal straight away after the game in front of that video. Look, you can't do this mistake.
But you wouldn't want to dissuade him from trying to bring the ball out at the back, would you? Is it just a question of the right time to do that?
Yeah, he's done it very well. The first 3 times they've trapped him, they've tried to press him, Raul, and he's come out of that situation very well. And that's the modern game. That's the modern centre-back now in the game. That he's not just a defender. He's like the goalkeeper. The goalkeepers now are not just goalkeepers. They're part of the build-up. They're part of the play. And centre-backs also the same. You know, when you see Ferdinand especially and Vidic, they come out with the ball. All the top teams, Barcelona, centre-backs come out with the ball and play. And Smalling's got to learn that. He's young and he's got to learn when to do it and when to just go bang, play the ball forward. And that's why he's playing in this semi-final. And you know, it's through experience, and as I said, the result is the most important, not really the performance. The result, get the job done, get into the final, and let these players impress as much as they can.
Just before you have your cup of tea, I've noticed 2 or 3 times you've talked about losing possession and what happens here. Is there not a stat about how few passes sometimes it can be when you lose possession to conceding a goal? It's like something like half a dozen, you know, if you lose possession in the wrong part of the field, it can be half a dozen passes and the opposition have scored.
It's not so much passes, it's time. And so many seconds when you lose the ball, because we always say in Europe especially, you can't give the ball away, because on transition, top teams, that is the difference. The top teams in transition, i.e. when you just lose the ball,
something like 7 or 8 seconds.
Yeah,
somebody once said to me,
it's recovery to defence that is the key. The top teams recover the quickest, and the top teams, when they win it, attack the quickest. And in top games, that defines it. When everybody is so well organised, that transition, when you win the ball, how quickly you get it forward, penetrate and get a chance, can be the difference between winning and losing.
Terrific. Steve, thank you very much indeed. Half-time then, thoroughly entertaining game, 2-1 to Manchester United. They're still completely in control, 4-1 on aggregate, but an enjoyable game for sure. And we'll be back here on Sunday. We'll have full commentary of Manchester United-Chelsea, the biggest match of the Premier League season so far. Victory for United. They're 6 points clear with 2 games left. Victory for Chelsea and they're level. Don't miss it. Before all that, commentary on the Turkish Grand Prix and regular updates from Wolves, West Brom and Stoke Arsenal. 5 Live Sport with Colin Murray from midday on Sunday, and in a moment we'll bring you reaction to Celtic's surprise defeat at Inverness after the news with Kate Williams.
Online at bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
President Obama says he won't be releasing a photo to prove Osama bin Laden is dead because he doesn't want it to be used as a propaganda tool. He told American TV that releasing a photo of the body could incite violence. White House spokesman Jay Carney read excerpts from the interview to the press.
There is no doubt that Osama bin Laden is dead. Certainly, there is no doubt among al-Qaeda members that he is dead. And so we don't think that a photograph in and of itself is going to make any difference. There are going to be some folks who deny it. The fact of the matter is, you will not see bin Laden walking on this earth again.
The Met Police Commissioner says there can be no let-up in vigilance following bin Laden's death. In a speech in London this evening, Sir Paul Stevenson said it didn't mark the end of an ideology and people must remain alert to the threat from al-Qaeda. The chief prosecutor at the International Criminal Court will apply for 3 arrest warrants for crimes against humanity in Libya. The BBC understands that the warrants are for senior officials, but not Colonel Gaddafi or his sons. Police have arrested 2 youths on suspicion of starting a forest fire at Swinley in Berkshire. As firefighters continue to tackle a series of wildfires across the UK, the army has been brought in to help out in the Brecon Beacons. Judith Harvey is from the Brecon Beacons National Park Authority.
It's a really devastating scene up here. We've lost hundreds of acres of prime habitat, heather moorland, bilberry. We've got problems now with the peat on fire, so we're going to have to bring a lot of water up here to actually douse the soil that's on fire.
The Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu says the signing of an agreement between Fatah and Hamas is victory for terrorism. The 2 Palestinian groups have ended their feud and agreed to form an interim government. 16-year-old Sean Tyson has been charged with the murder of 2 British tourists in Florida. James Casares and James Cooper were shot dead last month in the city of Sarasota. And Focus DIY has announced it's going into administration. The chain has 178 outlets and almost 4,000 staff. On the roads, on the M11 northbound, there's a lane closed on the exit slip road at junction 8 for Bishop Stortford. In Tyne and Wear, the A1 has a lane closed both ways between the A1068 and A197 for barrier repairs at Seaton Burn after an earlier accident. The A30, that's got a lane closed southbound at Burpham in Surrey, and in Hampshire, the A30 is closed both ways at Hertford Bridge. Kate Williams, 5 Live Match Night Travel.
We must be favourites. We have a big job to do yet. The drama is not finished.
We have to try to win every game, and after that we can count how is our position in the table.
Sunday, kick-off, 4 p.m. It's Man United against Chelsea.
5 Live Sport.
We'll take your calls tonight at full time. Manchester United fans, we want to hear from you. What have you made of tonight's performance? And we assume you're going to be at Wembley. And if so, can you beat Barcelona at Wembley? How concerned are you as well by the title race and by Sunday's game against Chelsea? Lines open at 9:30. 0500 909 693 is the number to call. Well, a blow to Celtic's SPL title ambitions this evening, beaten 3-2 at Inverness Caledonian Thistle to leave them 1 point behind Rangers, having played the same number of games. Jim Spence asked the Celtic manager Neil Lennon what went wrong tonight.
Didn't start the second half anywhere near as we should have. We started the game quite well, and then we conceded a really poor goal. Great response, great goal from Chris, and I thought we were in pretty much control, without looking really in trouble. We got them in at half time and said, look, we need a bit more, particularly in the final third. We kept getting into decent positions and feeling, but defensively we went AWOL, for 20 minutes of the second half. We were very, very poor, and we conceded. There were 2 good finishes, but we went missing. He's had a free shot, and that's a criticism. I can't point at the players for much of the season, but defensively, some of the guys picked today of all days to have the worst game of the season.
Well, look, you're a big boy. You've been through all this as a player. You'll be getting the texts and the emails are coming and having a go at you, and all the rest of it. But the players have to stand up and be counted tonight. You're right, because you backed them for the bulk of the season. Who takes this in the neck? Is it you, or is it the players in the dressing room?
Well, both. I pick a team, and set them out as best we can. We only made one change from the performance at the weekend. The pitch is different. Inverness play a different style of football, but we knew all that, and we didn't cope well enough with it. And defensively we were poor. Going forward we were poor. Midfield we did okay. Commons had a decent game for us. Always looked lively, but our front two second half give us very, very little.
You're still very much in the fight, but you 3 tough games coming up. You're away to Killie, then you're at Hearts, and then you finish against Motherwell.
Yeah, we need to take the title to at least the last day of the season, and with a bit of luck that somebody might do us a favour along the way. If some of the teams play as committedly as Inverness did today, then we should be in for a good shout.
Inverness have said that 10 players will be leaving the club at the end of the season, but manager Terry Butcher was full of praise for the man who led his team from the front.
I have to say it was Adam Rooney's best game for us. If he was credited with a goal, maybe an own goal, I don't know, I don't care. But he led the line so well, put Nestorovic and Mulgrew under massive pressure, and that enabled us to get up the pitch, and just everybody ran their socks off. But you look at people like Grant Monroe and even Russell Duncan on the bench. Chris Innes was playing magnificently well tonight. Everybody had a great spirit about them, even though they'd been told that they didn't have a future at the club, and that shows great character and great heart, and just a wonderful attitude.
We were debating tonight whether it was a surprise or a shock of a result. What do you think?
Well, if you'd seen us on Saturday, it was a massive shock. You saw us on Saturday. Well, that was a massive shock. I actually quoted you in my team talk. I just said Jim Spence just told me out there he's seen the good and the bad. So what do we want to see tonight? And everybody went the ugly. So I says, well, but that wasn't ugly football tonight. I thought we played some wonderful stuff. I mean, it could have been a lot more goals for us. Forster's made some great saves. But I was just really pleased, and it's just a wonderful feeling to get to 44 points, looking at 7th place, and St Mirren here on Saturday. It's just wonderful, and it's great for our fans, because our fans have had a lot of torment this year at home. We've let them down on several occasions, or too many, and it's great for them to go away singing and dancing tonight.
What did you make of the penalties? I mean, 92 minutes, they score with their second one through a penalty, and then the penalty claim just after that when McCourt goes down. Did you think that either of them were penalties?
Well, the first one was definitely a penalty. The second one could have been a penalty. I mean, I'm doing an Arsene Wenger here. I never saw it, but I had my fingers over my eyes at the time. No, I'm even saying to myself, well, look, if they score and make it 3-3, it's still a great result for us. But they didn't get it, and for whatever reason, and we've gone on to win the game.
Always good to hear Terry Butcher back on 5 Live. Rangers then a point clear, 3 games to go. Rangers home to Hearts on Saturday, home to Dundee United next Tuesday, away to Kilmarnock Sunday, May 15th, final day of the season. Celtic away at Kilmarnock, away to Hearts next Wednesday. A commentary here if the title race is still alive, and then home to Motherwell on Sunday, May the 15th. Other sports news tonight: top steeplechaser Courthoe Star was pulled up by his jockey Ruby Walsh with 4 fences remaining in the Punchestown Gold Cup. Trainer Paul Nicholls says there'll be no rash decision about the future of the horse. There was more success for Grand National winning trainer Donald McCain today, saddling the 11-2 chance overturn to win the featured Chester Cup on the first day of their May meeting. Andy Murray's through to the 3rd round of the Madrid Masters. He beat the Frenchman Gilles Simon 6-4, 3-6, 6-love, and will now face Brazil's number 1, Thomas Bellucci. The Wales back row forward Andy Powell is to leave Wasps by mutual consent after being involved in a brawl in a London bar last month. Britain's WBC super middleweight champion Carl Froch has agreed a 5-fight deal with Barry Hearn's Matchroom Sport Company. His next defence will be against Glenn Johnson a month from today. And there were centuries in the LB County Championship today for Ed Joyce and Craig Kieswetter. In Birmingham, Warwickshire's Irish international Boyd Rankin took 5 wickets in their game against Lancashire, with Jimmy Addison and Chris Tremlett each taking an early wicket on their return to action following England's winter tour. Teams running back out from the corner here at Old Trafford, while Alan Green has a quick look just to see if there are any sub changes. There is one. You've got one, have you?
Yeah, Edu will be coming on for Schalke, and it's only a question of who he's replacing. They've got a new board for the 4th official out of its cardboard box.
It's very spanking new, doesn't it?
Very smart. The old one obviously wasn't doing its job correctly, and now the 4th official will tell us who Edu will be replacing. It's Bom Johan, which is good news for me because I find it impossible to pronounce his name. Absolutely impossible. Now it's 2-1 to Manchester United, who haven't made any changes at half-time. There were no goals in the first quarter of the game. And then I hand over to Mike and he gets 3 within 10 minutes. And you won't know this, Steve, but he is forever moaning that I get all the goals when we commentate together. Honestly.
So we just wait again for Mike to come back on and we get some more.
Absolutely. Nothing's going to happen now until the last quarter of the game.
We'll keep quiet then.
Manchester United's lineup: Van der Sar in goal, a defensive Raphael, Smalling, Evans and O'Shea. Then in midfield we've got Scholes, Anderson and Gibson, all of whom have been yellow carded in the first half. Then Valencia, Berbatov and Nani. The Portuguese referee blows his whistle, the second period underway. Schalke's revised lineup: goalkeeper Neuer at fault for the second goal. The first one from Valencia actually went through his legs. Then the back four: Yoshida, Hugues, Metzelder and Escudero. We've got Papadopoulos and Jurado largely sitting deep in the midfield. Ahead of them we've got Farfan and Draxler, and certainly now I think Raul's going to get proper support up front with Edu. They appear to have switched to 4-4-2, Steve.
Yeah, that's right, and like the first leg, and Edu plays high up. He is a centre forward, a striker. It allows Raul to play his best position, that little drop off position, little number 10 position in between where he can cause problems.
United attacking the Stretford end in the second half and squander a throw in here when the ball was returned by Nani to O'Shea. It wasn't the best of passes from Nani. O'Shea couldn't keep it in, but then Schalke give it back from their throw in, and it's with O'Shea on the halfway line. United were a bit scrappy once Jurado scored that Schalke goal, but hopefully they got their minds set in the second half. On the attack here, Valencia plays it in low. Anderson controls it with his back to goal and then can't quite create the space to have a shot, and it's cleared by Schalke. Midway inside their own half, but now it's with Raul certainly playing deeper with the presence of Edu on the field. Raul, that's a good ball to Farfan, right side. Farfan might have crossed first time, changes his mind, now he crosses in towards Edu. Good header away by Chris Smalling. Met by Nani. Nani back to Scholes, and now O'Shea. Scholes, triangular passing movement here from Manchester United, and then O'Shea hits it up towards Berbatov, but he's beaten by Hugues. Yoshida into Metzelder, who was wearing that face mask on the first leg but is now taking it off, risking his own looks on the television viewing public. Manchester United 2, Schalke 1. You're listening to 5 Live and BBC Radio Manchester. Champions League semi-final second leg. United, remember, 4-1 up on aggregate, and really there should not be a problem, but then you worry if they give away a free kick as they've done here, albeit 30 yards out, what might happen if Schalke score a second goal, Steve? Yeah, that's right, it'd be interesting, and the game is very open, and you can see more goals in this second half, hopefully when you're on. No, I'd be quite happy to leave it at 2-1. In fact, I'd be quite happy if we didn't see another goal in the second half and United get through to their third Champions League final in 4 seasons. Now the free kick is 35 yards from goal, maybe a fraction under that. Yeah, a bit too far out I think for a shot. They'll be looking for Metzelder I think on this far post. Well, it might be a tap from Raul for Farfan. It is. Farfan's shot blocked by Scholes, who was alert to the danger and rushed out of quote the wall and made a good blocking challenge. The clearance towards the halfway line, knocked forward by Schalke. The header on towards Edu, but ahead of Edu, O'Shea makes sure that there's no danger by smacking the ball into the crowd, into the south stand, and it's going to be a throw into Schalke. We were just talking, me and Mike, earlier at half-time, and wondering, a couple of things United. I'll just let you do this. Yeah, he was probably talking about his goals, because he doesn't get many when he's commentating with me. The attendance, by the way, 74,687, and Steve McLaren, the former England manager, alongside us here in the commentary position at Old Trafford. Here's Raul. Raul taps the ball to his left, and it's fed forward to Edu. Edu's first touch not great. Scholes takes it up for United, finds Anderson. Anderson, with Nani being marked, had to delay getting the pass out. He's tackled by Edu, and the ball squirts out of play for a throw into United. Yeah, I think we were talking at half-time, me and Mike, just wondering what Sir Alex will be doing, and a couple of things he'll be looking at. He'll be worried about the yellow cards, Scholes, Anderson and Gibson, and he'll be looking also for Fletcher, who's just coming back from injury, to get some minutes onto the field. Absolutely. But we don't want any rash challenges from that midfield trio. That's right, and already, they've got to be composed, they've got to be controlled,
make sure they don't pick up any more yellow cards, otherwise they could be down to 10 men. Then it will be interesting, because this Schalke team, they can score goals. You know, they're very attacking. They've now got Edu on, Raúl in his favourite position, already the controlling play. If they can get a little bit more penetration, get more crosses into the box, they could get another goal.
Draxler from the left side, moving infield on his right foot, finds Raúl about 25 yards out. Edu plays the forward again. Escudero up from left back to the edge of the penalty area, and Gerardo, the goal scorer for Schalke in the first half, he passes it back. Papadopoulos slides it to Guedes, but they're having to retreat almost to the halfway line now, Schalke. Good pressing from Manchester United. Metzelder now to Papadopoulos. Raúl and on to Gerardo now towards Raúl, rolls into the penalty. Good opportunity, tapped it back. Farfan shot was poor, but it takes a deflection and it's a corner.
Yeah, just Raúl dropping into that little number 10 positions, causing Manchester United,
they're not picking him up,
all kinds of problems, and the midfield, they're getting overrun. Scholes, Anderson getting overrun, and Gibson.
Farfan taps the corner short for Raúl on his left foot, plays the ball in towards the near post, and there was a header on by Metzelder, took a deflection again off a defender behind for yet another corner. And United are rocking a little bit here.
Yeah, you're bound to have a spell.
Once more, it's taken short, the corner. Raúl again crosses left-footed, weakly this time, and it's with Valencia running away. Nani ahead of him. Gibson's made a great run down the left side. Valencia, I think, is looking right all the time. Finds Nani. Gibson still up there. Ball played in towards Valencia. Good challenge by Escudero, and it's behind for a corner this time for United.
That was fantastic play on the transition. Again, as soon as they win the ball, 5 or 6 seconds, we were talking about it at half time, from one end of the field to the other. That's what top teams do. They can transition 5 or 6 seconds, a chance at the other end from losing the ball.
Corner at the Stratford end to United, and oh dear, as the ball was tapped back by Nani to Valencia was offside.
Yeah, and you do feel Schalke, coming into this game, they've been buoyed by the goal, come out second half more positive, more aggressive with Raúl, getting crosses and 1-2s combinations in around the box, but United have got to stay in control, especially in that midfield area. And as you saw there on the break, they still look like scoring another goal, so I don't think this half's going to be 0-0.
Gerardo heads the ball back to Metzelder. Guedes.
Maybe in the first 15 minutes when...
not when I'm on. Absolutely not, Steve. That's a lesson you learned on 5 Live. I never get any goals. No, that's not true, actually. Just a complex that Mike has occasionally. Here's Papadopoulos to Metzelder. And Metzelder moves over the halfway line, left of the centre circle. They've got plenty of players in the United half at the moment, including this man, scorer of their first half goal. Gerardo finds Raúl to Edu down the left side, onside. Edu steps inside of Rafael, but then pulls him down, and it's a free kick to Manchester United.
I think you and Mike made a good comment at just before half time. You know, the best Schalke player is Gerardo at the present moment, and now with Raúl dropping in, they combine very, very well together. Papadopoulos is just sitting, allowing them to control the game. And they ought to be careful, Manchester United. As I said before, in Europe, the midfield area is the key area to win, and at the moment, Schalke are winning it. Yeah.
But had it been 0-0 or 1-1 after the first leg, we'd be nervous now. As it is, reminding you that Manchester United are 4-1 up on aggregate, 2-1 up on the game tonight. Nani down the left side, midway inside the Schalke half, tried to get the ball through to O'Shea, lucky to get it back off Yoshida, and now it's with O'Shea from Anderson's pass. O'Shea's cross is very deep towards Valencia, cleverly headed behind by Escudero for a corner.
Yeah, that's good play of Manchester United, and you can see that, you know, when they get into the final third, Manchester United, they look a lot more dangerous against this Schalke back four, especially the two centre-backs, Metzelder and Guedes.
Pep Guardiola, the Barcelona manager, is in the director's box here at Old Trafford, watching the prospective Champions League finalist opponents. Header down by Berbatov from the corner, and then Neuer comes out, but it didn't really need to make the challenge because the flag was already up for offside against Nani. Of course, you know, if he's watching United tonight, because that's the team he'll be playing, his Barcelona team will be playing at Wembley, he's not getting much of a clue. So many changes that Sir Alex made.
Well, that's right, but what he will be getting a clue of is how Manchester United approach the game, how they play, because it is, you know, 4-3-3, 4-5-1, pretty much what they'll come up against with Schalke. So he'll be looking at the system, he'll be looking at the way they build up, Manchester United? Do they build up from the back through Van der Sar, through the two centre-backs, through midfield? Or do they play more direct? Do they play transition? You know, he'll be finding out what is the Manchester United way of playing.
Well, Joanna was caught there by Anderson, but the referee didn't give a free kick. And now here's Nani with the Japanese fullback Yoshida in close attendance. Nani into Berbatov in the penalty area at the Stretford end of the stadium. Back to Anderson! Great shot, great save! Corner.
Yeah, fantastic save. And you know, you say what's Pep Guardiola here for? Exactly that. The likes of Valencia, Nani, Berbatov, he might come across in the final. And what is their movement like? I'll let you carry on here.
Corner taken quickly by Valencia to Scholes. On to Valencia again. Right side. Dinks it in towards the near post. It must have hit the defender. It did. And it's another corner to Manchester United. Manchester United 2, Schalke 1 here in the second leg of the semi-final. 4-1 the lead in aggregate. You're listening to 5 Live and BBC Radio Manchester. Corner at the Stretford end. To be swung in, left-footed by Nani. Deep, looking for Berbatov, who rose well, but must have been climbing in the back of a defender because the referee had blown his whistle, and it's a free kick.
Yeah, that's right. I've been disappointed both sides on their set plays, corners, wide free kicks, shots at goal. They've been disappointing, and it's an area in which, you know, is very, very important in big games, especially. The set plays win you games, and on both sides they've been poor this evening.
Portuguese referee just spotted a little push by Berbatov on Escudero, and that's why I awarded the free kick. Here's Jurado, on to Draxler. Edu and Raul available. Draxler into the penalty, back towards Edu. Good clearance by Smalling. Spotted the danger quickly. Alert, got there, cleared. Out of play it goes. Throw in on the far side. Escudero takes it. To Metzelder. Hughes on the halfway line inside the centre circle. To Raul. Back to the defender. Papadopoulos finds Raul again. Good ball to the right side. And Yoshida onto Edu, who's made actually quite a physical difference to Schalke since he's come on. But O'Shea should clear for Manchester United. Onto Nani. Nani's pass didn't quite reach Berbatov, and it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United off the defender. Evra's coming on.
Yeah, I think there's a problem with one of the defenders, an Achilles. Is it Raphael?
Well, just looking, he went down a short while ago. He's had a few problems, injury problems this season, Raphael. Been really unfortunate. He and his twin Fabio, excellent prospects amongst many at Old Trafford. Escudero runs forward, tackled by Valencia, and then Scholes took it up. Escudero pulled him down. That's going to be a yellow card. Yep. The referee flashes the yellow. 12.5 minutes gone in the second period. I'm just looking around to see who is the problem here. I mean, Scholes isn't moving too easily after that challenge.
No, I think it's Raphael who's just flicking his legs a little bit, looking as if trying to shake off an injury, and they're deciding whether to actually use Evra or to save him. They'll want to save him, but they won't want Raphael to be out there injured.
Yeah, I think Evra's sat down again, but we'll see. The substitution doesn't appear imminent anymore. Good work by Nani, finding Scholes, and Scholes glides the ball towards the right side, slightly behind Valencia. Valencia keeps it in United's possession. To Raphael. Scholes, who's got his socks almost rolled down now. The referee will be ticking him off about that soon enough.
I'm surprised no one's off the bench and telling him to put them up.
Yeah, that's not clever, is it? You know. Anyway, his choice. Here's Smalling. Smalling to Anderson in the centre circle. On to Nani. Laid back to Gibson. Gibson had a problem with his ribs in the first half, but is certainly running freely now, and that's a good ball to the right side of Valencia. Faced by two defenders, one of them, Escudero, gets in a tackle. It's out of play, and Evra will come on shortly.
Yeah, that's right. Manchester United, you know, it's a typical of when you make 9 changes. It's not fluid. You know, it's not what they call automatisch. You know, they're a little bit more individual, not really playing as a team. Not tempo of the passing is not quite there, and more or less playing as individuals. And
here's
here
the
we
change.
go.
You're absolutely right. Well spotted, Steve. It is Raphael who will come off, and Evra to go on. O'Shea will just switch across the right back.
It's no problem for Manchester United. The bench that they have got.
Well, let's hope it's just a little niggle for Raphael.
Yeah, because he's one of the players who's really come on,
hasn't he?
And gaining experience.
A bit rash sometimes in the challenge.
When I first watched him come in, and especially I think it was against Bayern Munich last year.
Oh yes.
You know that cost them dearly, going down to 10 men, and he still plays him because they've got to learn as young players. They've got to learn. They've got to gain the experience, and sometimes it's harsh lessons. And unfortunately, this time he's come off with an injury.
Yep. So Evers on, and obviously takes up the left back position. O'Shea onto the right side of the United back four, and now they've got a free kick deep inside the Schalke half. Manchester United 2, Schalke 1 on the night. Quarter of an hour gone in the second half. Remember, the aggregate lead is 4-1. Free kick played into Gibson just outside the penalty area. Back it goes to O'Shea, and on to Nani in the far side. O'Shea once more, and to Scholes. Lovely little dink pass by Scholes to Anderson. Anderson scurries forward, then it's a weak shot which Nora dives forward to save easily and throws it out quickly to Jurado. Near side of the field. Schalke desperate to score a second goal to give them some kind of hope. Without it, they've none, of course. There's an over-aggressive challenge by Ado, and that's a free kick for the tackle on Johnny Evans. Anderson to take it. 16 minutes gone in the second half here on 5 Live and BBC Radio Manchester. As I said, Steve, no goals in my commentary. In fact, maybe I should hand over early, and then Mike can get another one or two.
Well, I'm just looking at the Manchester United midfield, especially Anderson and Gibson. It's a great opportunity for them tonight to make an impression. And Gibson, I know, has got one hell of a shot from distance. 2 or 3 times he's been there, he's lined up, and he's not taken the shot. And that surprised me. And Anderson, on the other hand, needs to score more goals. From a midfield player, an attacking midfield player in this Manchester United side needs to score more goals. And he's had 1 or 2 opportunities and not really hit the target, and not with any power as he threatened the Schalke goal. And these two have a good opportunity, and they need to do more.
United cried in great voice now. They know that the Champions League is a formality. It will be made certain, Champions League final rather, is a formality. It'll be made certain soon enough. 28 minutes left in the game here at Old Trafford. Their team leading by 2-1 in the night. Here's Papadopoulos. Papadopoulos moving forward, slips the ball to the right side, and Farfan, who's been a disappointment actually over both legs. Big reputation, hasn't shown it against United. Good ball into Jurado though. Couple of yards outside the United penalty area. Dances away from Scholes. Then he crosses low. Farfan heads it on. The flag's up for offside though. I think it was against Raul.
Yeah, you're actually quite right, Alan, that Farfan is one of the players I thought would really sparkle in this environment and really perform. But last week, this week, he's been nowhere near the player that I've seen. He's quick, he's strong, he can penetrate, he can dribble, he can score, but he's just staying out wide. He's not really getting involved. Been a disappointment. Whereas Jurado, he loves this. He's out on the Old Trafford pitch, he's enjoying it, it's a big game, and he's causing problems for Manchester United.
Well, I wondered if Fletcher might get half an hour. He won't quite get half an hour, but he's come out and that's a thorough warm-up he's getting now. He might be on soon, Darren Fletcher, and it'd be great to see him back for United for the climax of the season, domestically and Europe. O'Shea crosses into the penalty, allowed to run a long way. Berbatov back to Gibson. Gibson feeds it forward, too far ahead of Nani, and it's through to Neuer.
Again there, I'm not saying he can get a shot in there, Gibson, but he's not even looking. He's looking for that extra pass, that safe pass, where he should be taking responsibility and saying, look, you know, here I am, give me the ball and I'll score a goal. That gets you noticed.
Here's Raul, good pass forward to Draxler, back to Edu, Jurado, on towards Edu in the penalty. Smalling almost dived in there, makes a good tackle in the end, and it's behind for a corner, though Smalling, I thought initially it was only going to be a goal kick.
I've got to say Evans and Smalling have been excellent, despite the attacks that Schalke have had out wide when crosses have gone in. Apart from the goal, they've been there, combinations they've been there covering, defended well.
Time though rapidly running out for Schalke, trailing 2-1 in the night, 4-1 on aggregate. They've got a corner in front of their fans. The end to our right, Farfan smacks it deliberately deep, skips off the head of Papadopoulos, and away to safety for United on the far side with Gibson. And Gibson hoofs it upfield deliberately in the direction of Nani. Nani's there. Jurado's come back. Nani steps away from Jurado. Now Escudero helps out the Schalke defence in the States. A good ball in by Nani to Evra in the edge of the penalty area. His attempt to cross to Gibson, headed clear, and now it should be secure in the feet of Raul. Flicked onto the right side, and Farfan to Edu. Back to Farfan. Farfan just over the halfway line. And now it's with Raul in the centre circle. To Llorado. He scored the goal that pulled it back to 2-1 after United had gone ahead. Firstly through Valencia, and then Gibson. Gibson's shot really should have been saved by Neuer, but wasn't. Llorado to Yoshida. And they've got practically everybody bar Neuer inside the United half. But have they got the penetration? That's the question against Schalke tonight. Yeah. Ball's on the far side of the field with Draxler. Draxler into Papadopoulos. Raul. And now Huides. Huides striding forward from the centre of defence. Plays it to Edu. Edu back to Raul. Raul passes forward. It's around the edge of the D of the United penalty area. Draxler can't find Edu, and it's cleared by Gibson now to play on the far side of the field.
Yeah, and you've seen Schalke, they've got possession, but there's no tempo. You see the difference between the Premier League and the Bundesliga. Yeah, good possession, nice football, but too slow. Not hurting Manchester United, allowing every player to come back behind the ball, no spaces in between, and eventually the attacks fizzle out. And, you know, that's the difference at the top. The tempo of the passing has got to be quicker than this. It's got to be sharper, switching of play, finding plays between the lines with what we call tough passes in between plays. And Schalke are not doing that. They're never going to hurt Manchester United playing like that. Another shot of Pep Guardiola in the director's box. And they should always be aware that cameras are looking at them. I swear he was close to picking his nose, Steve, and in a big close-up. You know, he of that great style. Wonderful team, the team picking his nose. Pep Guardiola can do anything he wants.
Edu for Schalke. Midway inside the United half. It was played towards Farfan. Easily intercepted by Evra, but Evra gives the ball away. And Evra acknowledges, Evra's got a problem.
Evra's
clutching his left hamstring. Evra's got... That is serious news for Manchester United. Now, they may have lost Raphael with a slight injury, but this is a much more serious problem if Evra has to come off. Chelsea here on Sunday, remember. The full commentary on 5 Live probably will decide the title, the likeliest destination for the title. Now, oh dear, Evra's gone down. That's another United player that's gone down. Who's that? Is that Evans? Evans has gone down as well.
I think that was more of just a clash, but Evra's the biggest worry. His hamstring, he's holding it, he's not happy. That will be a major, major blow to Manchester United. Hope it's just tightness with him just coming on.
No, he's shaking his head. I think he'll have to come off. Well, no, sir. In fact, he's indicating that he'll need to be substituted. We're midway through the second half, as predicted, brilliantly by me. No goals in my commentary. Goals to come from Michael.
Well, I think, Alan, after 27 years, I'm just grateful for crumbs from your table, really. You know, we're watching Evra very closely now. Because if it's hamstring, that's often 3 weeks, and the final's only 3 weeks away. And they have a little man called Messi who can, he plays a lot down the centre, but can also come across to Evra's side. They need him, don't they, Steve?
Yeah, that's right. And it's strange because if it was a hamstring and he's pulled it, I think he would walk off straight away. But he's indicated some kind of knocking of the fist together, saying that it's more or less a bang. It could be a clash, and he's still running it off.
He's actually running freely at the moment, but there would be absolutely no reason to take a risk with him because they are 3 goals clear here. If you're joining us on 5 Live and BBC Radio Manchester, Steve McLaren with us at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Schalke 1 on the night means 4-1 altogether. Manchester United now with Anderson thrusting a high ball to the far side of the field. Doesn't reach Valencia though, it's cut out by Escudero, but then Schalke are a bit slow to react, and it's stabbed by Gibson now for Valencia. Valencia can get a cross in here. There are 2 United players waiting in the penalty area, and he does the next best thing. He's won himself a corner. We're going to have a change here by Schalke as well. Is this Huntelaar coming back into the reckoning? Well, he's a man who's played all over Europe. Dutch World Cup man, of course. He's going to come on here for the last, how long have we got? 20 minutes or so to go. They just lifted a number 5, but there is no number 5, so I don't know who's coming off. There is no number 5, so they're going to miss the chance to bring Huntelaar on unless they're very quick. It's going to be Huberdes, the centre-back, so maybe Papadopoulos will go into the back 4, and Huntelaar's coming in, and they just have to go for it now, don't they?
Yeah, that's really attacking, and unlike the Germans, very inefficient there with their numbers, which is very unlike them.
So on comes Huntelaar, who maybe hasn't quite reached the levels that a lot of people thought he would. He's had quite a few clubs now in recent times. He's just coming back from injury. A player you will know well, Steve. What's your verdict on Huntelaar, the Dutch striker?
Well, just after watching this corner
kick to Manchester United. A little bit of jostling in the penalty area. O'Shea's at the near post. And they just played it short, and they've kept possession, and they're winding the clock down all the time. And now here comes Valencia. Valencia's ball in. O'Shea right across the goal. Smalling's put it in the back of the net, but the flag's gone up for offside. And Chris Smalling has been denied a goal in the Champions League. And the free kick is taken very quickly by Neuer towards Edu. It's a good flick from Edu to find Farfan. Manchester United have to get back now, but it's really poorly played by Farfan. United have a possibility with Anderson. In comes Papadopoulos, who's now playing at the back. And Papadopoulos now, as the game really opens up, finds Jurado. Jurado onto Draxler. Back again to Raul. Raul's not going to get that. It wasn't well laid off by Draxler. Raul's going to try with great determination to win it back against Anderson. And a free kick eventually given by the Portuguese ref.
Well, just before I talk about Huntelaar, very sloppy play from both teams, especially Manchester United, especially Anderson. They've got to keep possession. They've got to make sure they do that.
2-1 to Manchester United this evening, 4-1, and Evra I think is going to be okay. Gibson now for Scholes, very patient, very cool on the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. Scholes again now, and Scholes finds Valencia. Such a dangerous outlet for Manchester United over on the right. And Darren Fletcher's coming back into the first team soon. Now Nani taking on the defenders. Metzelder has to be careful here. Nani goes in the area, tries to pull it back to Anderson. Didn't quite pull it back right to Anderson, but Anderson wins it back again and scores for Manchester United. Neuer, the goalkeeper, got a hand to it. It looked like the opportunity was going to miss out Manchester United there. Great perseverance though. Anderson scores, and it's now 3-1 tonight and 5-1 altogether.
Well done, Anderson. We were talking earlier about making an impact in the game when you get an opportunity to play. He's an attacking midfield player. He's got to get into the box. He's got to score goals. He's got to assist. And there, a great run from Nani. Walked by Metzelder. And Anderson did really well. Missed his first one with his right foot, got the rebound, persistent pays off, and he's made an impression. He scored a goal, and when you're in attacking midfield, that's what you need to do.
Right, Scholes is replaced by Fletcher, who's had this debilitating virus, and he's come back in now, and of course he was the man who was suspended from the Champions League final against Barcelona 2 seasons ago. So what an opportunity for him. What about the goal there? I'm just getting a replay. Do you think Neuer was beaten rather easily? What do you think?
Well, again, could be, but it's so quick and so sharp.
In the meantime, a shot coming in from Jurado, and now Raul waltzes round a few challenges. Great interception from Evans. Still haven't heard Steve on Huntelaar. It's that sort of a game now. It's really exciting as Anderson now tries to penetrate with a pass. Valencia's ball in, hasn't been cleared yet by Schalke. Nani's looking interested on the edge of the area. Back comes Valencia once more. Valencia onto Anderson, back again to Valencia. United really turning on the style now with the 3-1 lead on the night. Another opportunity for them to get this one in. Nani now showboating, step overs, 2 defenders with him. Nani goes down looking for a free kick, and Neuer now will clear. So what about Klaus-Jan Huntelaar?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, him coming on has really opened the game up. Schalke have gone for it, and there's no real midfield. It's all forwards and back 4 for Schalke, and Manchester United are getting all the space.
It's the first time we've worked together, Steve, in commentary. Stick with me and we'll get the goals, all right?
Yeah, Alan's absolutely gutted, sat by me here. You've won again, mate.
Great noise now around Old Trafford. Steve McLaren's experienced many great nights like this here at Manchester United, but he's getting a better view here from the seats than he would have got down there on the pitch level. And Schalke now looking for more consolation. Here they come, Schalke, with Edu, who made a difference initially, allowing Raul to drift in behind him. Can Schalke pull this one into the area? Headed away by Evans at the back. And Valencia coming back, he does that really well to help out his fullbacks. Schalke though still sweep the ball in towards the far post, and it glances off Evans for a throw in down this near side.
Yes, Mike, and back to Huntelaar. He's a player, great potential in Holland, young player, coming through, scored lots of goals in Holland, moved to Real Madrid, and it was too big a club for him. Didn't really hit it off there, and has come back to German football. I watched him early season, struggled to make an impact, had a good middle. He scored actually against us, the equalising goal. He's a goal scorer, a pure out-and-out goal scorer with his head, with his right foot, left foot, all-round player that hasn't really taken off to the top level that the talent he showed earlier when he was younger.
Ishida, that was just about a legal throw by him, by the way. And Ishida again with Nani. By the way, we had a few problems with the crowd up in the top tier in the first half. That's all calmed down. They set off flares initially, the fans from Schalke. Then one or two Manchester United fans below them started throwing a few things upwards. The police have gone in and sorted everything out. Everything's calm. And the Schalke fans having to accept their fate, although coming here tonight, they, I'm sure, had to be reasonably philosophical. 2-0 down at home in the first leg, and now tonight 3-1 down. Their goal came from Gerardo, and now it's Gibson bringing the ball out. Gibson finding Valencia over on the Manchester United right. This is the far side of the field for United as they play from right to left. Lovely ball into Berbatov. Out comes Neuer. Berbatov should score. Instead, it's Anderson who's going to slide it in. Berbatov was very unselfish. Berbatov could have scored. Instead, he saw Anderson in a better position. And now it's 4-1 to Manchester United, 6-1 altogether. They can start printing the tickets now for Manchester United against Barcelona, Champions League final at Wembley, 2011.
Well, Ranić, the Schalke coach, must be wondering why the hell he put Huntelaar on in the first place, because they've got no chance of winning the game. They've opened the game right up. Manchester United defending very well, always in shape. As soon as they win the ball, there they go in transition. 5 or 6 seconds later, ball's in the back of the net, and there's that player Anderson again. We talked about him getting forward, attacking midfield play. He's made an impression. 2 goals. Good night for him. Good night for Manchester United.
He had to wait a long time as a shot is... Oh, good effort as well from Edu, but it's just gone over. Had to wait a long time for his first Manchester United goal. Who knows, he could even get a hat-trick if he stays on the field. But now the change is going to be made by Sir Alex Ferguson, bringing on Michael Owen for Dimitar Berbatov. So there was some speculation that Berbatov and Owen would play together tonight. Sir Alex began with Berbatov. Owen comes on. Berbatov's done well, I'll let you say, Steve. I mean, what do you think of his contribution tonight?
Berbatov, I think he's been injured. He's come back in. He's done the job. He's played on the shoulder. He's played as a lone striker. He's penetrated. He's got behind Schalke, and summed up his night. Just that last move perfectly. Could have taken it himself, very unselfishly squared it for Anderson. So a good night altogether, and for Manchester United. And he's got Fletcher on, Owen on. He didn't want to put Ever on, but he's had to, and he's giving players, valuable playing time in the games ahead.
Michael Owen's finest he's had many fine moments, but probably the greatest moment was the against German opposition, of course, in Munich in 2001 with a hat-trick against Germany in the World Cup qualifier. So he's on now. Interestingly, Raul's on the same field with him as well. They were together at Real Madrid, and Michael Owen didn't get much action either while Raul was there. Raul continues his last Champions League action. Anderson interested in a hat-trick, feeds Owen. Michael Owen's first touch. Owen keeps the ball, works it back to Evra, and that's good news for Sir Alex Ferguson. Evra looks like he's fine after getting that, it looked like a hamstring problem earlier. Nani, United just trying to stay onside here. Nani tries to break the offside. Owen's just strayed. Pass was delayed. Owen just crept offside. And it's a free kick to Schalke.
Mike, that was so close. In fact, I don't think it was off. I think the linesman now, the assistant referee, should I say, on the far side, I think he's starting to feel a little bit sorry for Schalke for giving that one.
There's been a big effort here from all these players, and to think about it, while Alan was commentating, I've just written down actually 23 Manchester United names if they're all fit, which means that 5 of them are going to miss out on the Champions League final completely, and some big names are not going to be in that final. Here comes Schalke, out comes Van der Sar to make a great save, diving at the feet of Huntelaar. Danger not cleared. It's Edu, the Brazilian. He had a runner left and right, and in the end bobbles one in off a Manchester United defender and wins a corner kick over on the far side.
That just shows, 40 years old, not done anything all evening, only called upon once, and there he is, like lightning from his line to the edge of the 18-yard box for a goalkeeper to be that far out. and to make a save like that, fantastic.
Little blow in the face or something, Van der Sar. I think he's going to be okay. It's a corner kick to Schalke. It's 4-1 tonight, 6-1 altogether. Short corner by Schalke. High ball into the area, header wide by Papadopoulos. And I don't think any Manchester United fan in the stadium now would be, with how long to go, 10 minutes to go, I'm not sure any of them would be too upset if Raul went through and scored here for Schalke in these last 10 minutes. 71 goals, 142 appearances, a goal every 2 games in the Champions League, and this surely is his farewell. He's got another season at Schalke, but of course they won't be in the Champions League next season. He could easily have sailed off into the sunset after Real Madrid, but he's had a fantastic season getting Schalke this far, but he's had to feed on crumbs really for the most part in the 2 legs of this semi-final with Manchester United.
I've got to say, Mike, I've watched him from the start of the season. He struggled early on. Very surprised that he actually came into the Bundesliga, coming from Spain. Wonder how he would adapt. Struggled at the beginning. But I've got to say, while he struggled, he learned to adapt. And I talked to a lot of people who work with him. He's first on the training field, last off, ultra professional. In any situation, he finds a solution, he works through it. And in the Bundesliga, he's found the situation difficult, he's worked through it. He's got better and better as it's gone on. In what is really not a very good... So I'll let you go through this.
Goalkeeper will get it. He's also played virtually every game as well. I noticed he played against Bayern at the weekend, didn't he, Steve? And,
unbelievable, Mike. Every game, every minute. And with Magath, who I know trains very, very hard. I'll let you go again.
Here comes Gibson feeding Valencia. Valencia's been a source of great menace in the semi-final. And then having said that, commentator's curse puts it deep and wide for a goal kick. So Raul playing out time here. Sort of James Blunt look-alike, I always thought, Raul. He's never been sent off in his career. He's a master, particularly in the one-on-one situations, the way he dips his shoulder and goes around goalkeepers. Steve was here in 2000 when he scored a couple of goals for Real Madrid against Manchester United. Boot on the other foot, though. Manchester United in control of this semi-final. Here comes Edu now. Big, powerful figure. Shooting position. Left-footed. And Van der Sar doesn't hold it, but it's an offside given. Typical Huntelaar. He went in there for the bits and pieces. But it's an offside. It was a terrific strike from Edu. And it's a free kick to Manchester United.
Again, Van der Sar showing his true worth there. And Huntelaar, that's typical Huntelaar. Not a good player outside the box, but inside the box, he's there. He's always onto rebounds, unfortunately offside, and United survive. And I've got to say, Evan Smalling done very, very well. Held a very high line there, made Huntelaar drift offside, and they're hoping to just keep this, not a clean sheet, which they'll be disappointed that they didn't get, but certainly concede no more than 1 goal.
Manchester United 4, Schalke 1, 6-1. It's going to be a great final. It's got just so many angles to it. And you think Barcelona won the trophy for the first time at Wembley, and they're going. Guardiola was the captain then. It's Valencia. Manchester United won the European Cup in Barcelona, and Sir Alex Ferguson's first European success was against Barcelona in the Cup Winners' Cup final in Rotterdam with Mark Hughes and co. So we're looking forward to that at the end of the month on 5 Live. Manchester United against Barcelona. Ball with Edu near side the Schalke right. Edu just sort of lumbering forward, and then he looks for Gerardo. It's very tight on the edge of the area. They're all back apart from Michael Owen. Gerardo now finding Ushida, the right back, gets a cross in, and it's Evans slipping as he clears. Didn't get a call from Van der Sar, wasn't quite sure, so he did the best thing really, puts it away for a corner kick.
No, and I think coming towards the end of the game, 7 minutes to go, and not many people are leaving. No. I think it will be party time. This is a big moment. I know it's the scoreline doesn't reflect that it's a close game, but it's a big, big night for Manchester United. They're in the final against Barcelona.
Corner kick to Schalke, looking for another consolation goal, headed away at the near post by Evra. Nani's there, and Michael Owen takes up a good position, left-hand side. Here comes the ball forward towards Gibson, and it's a brilliant cutout, though, at the back for Schalke by Papadopoulos. Really reached for it. He had to get it, otherwise United would have been through with Gibson. Papadopoulos now onto Draxler. Draxler for Huntelaar, playing down the centre. Raul now, feeding Ushida. United are quite happy, though, I think, for Schalke to have the ball here. 4-1 tonight, 6-1 altogether. And the big game with Chelsea coming up on Sunday. Lovely running now from Raul. Raul, though, the angle is awkward for him. he's done well though. He's won the corner kick against Anderson, and he's going to take it himself. And he just, I think, exchanged pleasantries with the crowd down there as well. I know he wanted to get to Wembley. Raoul's never played there. It's not going to be for him. He takes the corner kick, and Van der Sar saves easily. Steve, we shouldn't underestimate. Well, more on that in a moment as Owen has the ball again for United. Owen holding. The point I was going to make to you is we shouldn't underestimate, as Owen's fouled, Sir Alex Ferguson made 9 changes. I mean, he would have been absolutely hammered, wouldn't he, had this one gone wrong? But what confidence he shows in his players.
We said it at the beginning of the show and the game that, it's confidence he's got in the players, but he has to give the players the trust, and he can do nothing. He prepares them the Manchester United way, and then they have to cross the white line. He has to trust them to deliver, and what they've done tonight is they've delivered.
Semi-final of the Champions League, and he makes 9 changes from a team that plays in the first leg, and he's leading 4-1 against Schalke, and now it's Raoul once more. Raoul inside the centre circle, not long to go. Huntelaar stretches and then tries to lay it off towards Edu. Evra's there, and then he's a bit sloppy with the pass. Evra, back comes Schalke again. It really isn't going to matter now. Schalke are out of the tie, needing 5 goals to go through in the last 5 minutes. Anderson now, this time Nani's onside. If he gets the ball, he does, just keeps it in down this near side. 4 red shirts to pick out here. Nani into the penalty area. Back again is Nani. Offside given Evra and Nani linking up, and somebody straight offside, and Schalke take the kick quickly. It's Edu. I wonder whether it might have made a difference to Schalke had Edu started and Raoul played in behind him from the start, but that's all immaterial now and hypothetical, as Schalke with Gerardo, who was bright and inventive in the first half, scored a good goal. Now down that left-hand side, it's young Draxler. Walking pace though here now from Schalke. Going forward, Raoul wants the ball. He steals it off the fullback. Raoul now with a little typical Raoul chip into the area. Didn't get the elevation though. Valencia will run it out. Runs towards the touchline over on the far side. And look who's coming back to dispossess. It's Raoul going back to dispossess him. And on the ball again. He's making the most of all these last seconds in the Champions League tournament. Of course, he's graced Raoul. Schalke Bill down the left-hand side. Calling for it is Huntelaar. Here comes Gerardo, taking the ball towards the dead ball line, whips it in over all the defenders. Michael Owens tucking in at the left-back position, and Evans now to clear, all in his own time. Papadopoulos wins the header, and here comes Draxler now. Left-footed shot is blocked by Smalling. Schalke threatening to score one more consolation goal perhaps in the last 4 or 5 minutes here at Old Trafford. Another header from Evans, out of play. No, it's not gone out of play. Edu will keep it in. Edu for Schalke. 4-1 they trail tonight, 6-1 altogether. Edu taking on 2 United defenders and winning a corner kick.
I think you've seen one of the reasons tonight why Schalke have actually got to the semi-final of the Champions League, and it's not through the efforts, without the efforts of Raoul. He's been magnificent all season for Schalke. When he struggled at the beginning, I always remember, first off, he's the first to collect the ball. Enthusiasm of an 18-19 year old now taking the corner,
and United fans are applauding him down there too,
and rightly so.
Unquestionably, they realise the significance of these moments. As Raoul's corner kick into the near post, looking for a flicked header from Edu. Raoul joins in again and wins another corner kick off Valencia.
There he goes, look, sprinting, 4-1 down, he's sprinting to get the ball and take the corner again.
I always felt the big irony with Raoul was that he had actually been left out of the Spanish squad when they then went on to win the European Championship and also the World Cup.
That was a big call.
Served them so well. Appeal for handball there in the penalty area as Anderson now goes forward. Ushida though is getting goal side of him, and the defender comes in, Escudero, to complete the challenge. And Escudero now with a nice layoff. And Matip, where's he come on from? I don't think we've even mentioned the fact that he's come on. So Matip's now playing in midfield. But it's all about Raoul now over these last few minutes. Raoul looking for a little slide rule pass, and then he gets a challenge from Smalling which has hurt him, and he just has a word with Smalling as well. So Raoul just felt that. It's back again with Van der Sar in the United goal away to our right. Hope he doesn't have to hobble off at the end of his Champions League career here.
No, I think you were talking. I'll just let you take you through this.
It's Nani, but he's all on his own, and he needs people, and it's Michael Owen trying to burst into the area. Nani's just biding time here, waiting for players to arrive. Then the cross comes in over everybody. Gibson will retrieve it down this near side. 4-1 to Manchester United, 6-1 on aggregate. Patrice Evra now. Fletcher, of course, who's come into the game and getting valuable minutes here Anderson to Fletcher. Fletcher, number 24, looking for Owen, but the defender Metzelder was there. And now it's Edu, and still Raoul is feeling that injury. Not making any run at all now as Edu takes possession, and it's Huntelaar the further forward. Draxler, Raoul now is at walking pace. Draxler on the edge of the United area. Another shot coming in from Edu, who's sort of peppered Van der Sar's goal in this second half, but it's gone wide.
Yeah, I think you were talking earlier, Mike, about, the formation of Schalke. Should have started with Edu, maybe Huntelaar. But I think Schalke approached this game exactly right. They were never going to win this game. It was just a case of damage limitation. Unfortunately, not had that, but I think they've done as well as they possibly could do with the formation and the players that they've got.
Here comes the fourth official to indicate the added time, which is kind of irrelevant, really. The game is over from Schalke's point of view. Steve, how much of an advantage will it be? Just wait and see what's happening here. Owen to Valencia down the right. United opting for possession. O'Shea playing at right back following the injury to Raphael. Owen turns and now moves towards the Schalke goal. Feeds Anderson. 2 goals from him. 3 minutes of added time. Anderson to Nani. Everett's made a run into the penalty area. Nani running square and should find Everett. He does. He's onside as well. In comes the cross. Scudero heads it away. And now Draxler on the ball for Schalke. Question I was going to put to you was how much of an advantage will Wembley be to Manchester United?
It would be a big advantage. It's in England, won't have to travel far. They're used to that environment. It's a big pitch, which could be a disadvantage to them. But it's European finals. They're always tactical. It's who gets the tactics right. And basically, it's how Manchester United can deal with Messi. That's going to be the key of the final. If they can do that, unlike they did in 2009, if they can deal with Messi in the right way, Manchester United with Rooney, Hernandez have certainly got. I'll let you go through this.
It's Michael Owen with 24 days to relish the prospect of United Barcelona. Owen shoots, terrific. It was on target. Neuer stretches, one-handed save. Another great bit of exciting action, and it's a corner over on the far side. And by the way, of course, earlier in the second half, Anderson had a terrific goal-bound shot saved from Neuer, so Anderson really denied on the night a hat-trick. Corner to Manchester United.
Yeah, that's right, and it'd been nice for Michael to get that goal.
Short corner. No, it hasn't been taken. Valencia to take it. We're playing added time at the end of the game. Here, Manchester United against Barcelona on the 28th of May, an evening kick-off at Wembley. And now the corner is taken, and it's swept all the way back, 25-30 yards, to the man who's captained United tonight, O'Shea. Fletcher joining in the action. Will be desperate to play as many minutes as he can over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Nani now. Nani right across the face. Evra pops up, drives one in wide in the end. He was slightly off balance, left-footed, hooks it wide, and it's a goal kick for Neuer. And where's Raoul? He's waiting for one last bit of action maybe in the Champions League. Was a thorn in United's side back in the great Real Madrid days. Remember his 2 goals in Madrid against United and the 2 goals here as well. And had he not been in the Schalke team this season, then they probably wouldn't have arrived at this stage, the semi-final. He scored in both of the games against Inter Milan, and now it's Anderson of Manchester United showing great pace right at the end, going past the defender Papadopoulos, plays the ball across now to Valencia, doesn't control it first time. Valencia running square, United trying to stay onside. Anderson runs back from an offside position, and then in the end Ashida gets his tackle in. But Schalke being contained here, back inside their half. Now Raoul to Huntelaar. Huntelaar moves down this near side as Edu made a break down the centre. Huntelaar swings it aimlessly right into the United penalty area, straight into Van der Sar's arms. Seconds to go here at Old Trafford. As Steve McLaren was saying, many people will stay right to the end here tonight to salute Manchester United, and there goes the final whistle from the Portuguese referee, signalling that Sir Alex Ferguson and Manchester United are into their 4th Champions League final. A wonderful victory tonight with a much changed side. 9 changes, 4-1 tonight, 6-1 altogether. A resounding victory over Schalke. And Manchester United against Barcelona on the 28th of May is something to really, really look forward to. Here's Mark Kruger.